All right, what's up, folks? Unfortunately, here, not the way we wanted to see things happen. We said at the beginning of the broadcast that unfortunately we needed a fast start, at least from the Eagles. It seems like the Eagles, once again, is they're not worried about too much as far as when it comes to the fast start. So far, not what we wanted to see here. And on the line, I have, of course, Mike Ho's with me. He's up there in the Northeast, running around and trying to get the action around town. Fuji, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. A disgrace. This team came out flat as pancakes. No urgency. This defense is just getting manhandled. Letting Heineke scramble, like I said. They should have got in there and tried to sack him. I know Derek Barnett picked up the sack, but, they just can't. He's just getting that pull out, and Heineke's killing the secondary right now. What's your take, Angel?
Look right now. It looks like Tyler Haneke. I mean, they're making that guy look like a genius. It's ridiculous how much room between the safeties. This defensive line. I don't know what ended up happening. I guess maybe I put too much hype in the pregame show this morning, but it seems like they are just allowing Tyler Haneke to run around everywhere. I think just before the half here, he went 12 for 16 or 12 for 17, basically 150, 170 yards. So it makes absolutely no sense the way it's looking right now. Anthony Harris, as much as I brought him up before the start of the game, again, not doing too much. His whole entire defense just seems to be collapsing more than anything else. And I'm looking at the comments coming in here. So Rick Marcus says Dallas puts tons of pressure and Eagles look, like a JV team, which is absolutely correct there by Rick. LM says the offense is missing Sanders. Team plays differently without him. And Rick says that last week, that is, meaning from last week. All right, Rick. I see you were talking about there. But again, in the very beginning, you looked at, first of all, DCU comes out firing. Tyler Heineke once again completes every pass on the opening drive. 16-yard touchdown by Jared Patterson. That was with 11:54 to go in the first. So again, they drive right down the field in the very beginning of the game. Devontae Smith looking somewhat decent, but again, 30-yard catch. Quez Watkins came up short. Then Jordan Howard, he was stopped at 4th and 2. The Eagles not looking well here in the opening drive. Then once again, obviously the field goal made when Cam Sims was stopped short with 2:11 to go. Eagles ended up getting an illegal contact as well, a penalty. So I made it 10-0 with a field goal from Washington. And then Boston Scott finally punches it through with 11:49 to go. 3-yard touchdown run, made it 10-7. Eagles, when they went for it, after being stopped the first time around, they end up punching it through for the second time around. And then, of course, Josh Sweat sacked Heineke with 7:02 left in the second half. And then a collision between Rick Jones and the cameraman, Jim Kimmons from Fox. That was a stoppage of play. And then finally the field goal there by the DCU over at before the half. So 16-7. And Fuji, I don't know what kind of, unfortunately, what kind of adjustments are going to be made in the second half here. But when it comes down to as far as the defense, I tell you what, they're going to have to be a shakeup in that talk. The same way with the offense, don't be, same thing. But Tyler Heineke has been able to escape from, at least from what I can recall, about 4 different sacks and got juked once by number 93 there. So it's looking bad.
Well, Eagles are letting Washington convert four for 5 on third down, so they're killing themselves right there, shooting themselves in the foot. Like I said, there really isn't much pressure.
Right.
I said this in the pregame. Heineke's getting out there. You can't let him get out of that pocket and make plays, which he was doing in that first half. So Jonathan Gannon better step up in A game and, shoot something in this defense quick, because this damn team's got to wake up fast. You can't come out flat like they did. This wasn't a Giants game last week. They came out in the second half, but everybody's got to step the hell up here. You got to get in there and knock Heineke around and keep him in that pocket.
Yeah,
everybody's got to step up. The running game, and it's a nice mix of the passing and running game that's killing this defense. They just look flat. I mean, hey, like I said, you need to come out play 60 minutes of smart football, but enough of the second half crap. I mean, you can't even go into the playoffs playing like this. Honestly, you don't deserve to make the playoffs if you're going to come out playing like this.
Nope.
A win's a win, but come on.
Exactly.
I mean, a win's a win, but no team deserves to make the playoffs playing like this. I mean, coming down the stretch.
Nope.
You're the number one rushing offense, and I mean, it just seems like Ron Rivera has this team clicking on all cylinders right now. He wasn't going to come out having this team after that debacle last week against Dallas looking flat. I mean, like I said, these any division game's a tough one, but Washington's just taking it easy. They better step the hell up during the second half now.
Right. No, exactly. And it looked, it's looking bad, and we'll see what ends up happening here as far as the second half adjustments. Dylan just jumped on here with us, and Sean says, we're letting Heinicke be the man picking apart the defense. I see no number one on the defensive being the aggressor. No one, basically, what it comes down to on the defense being the aggressor. Hopefully the second half is a different story, and that's what we hope for. Thanks, Sean, for the comment, as along with Robert Rick. And the collision obviously was bad. And Dylan, I know you've been watching obviously your game as well when it comes to the Bucs. But I don't know if you ever been able to catch a little bit, obviously, of the Eagles action.
I have not, unfortunately. Obviously, you got red zone and such going on, so you sometimes get to see, how those games are going, but I have not been able to really get to see too much of the Eagles game. I do know at least right now what the score is. I saw it was 16-7 Washington, and that's troublesome if you're the Eagles fan base right now because, you need a win here this week, and you got to beat Washington. I mean, this is really Washington's game where they even have to win as well. I mean, this is a very, very crucial game, so they really need to get a victory here this week, and it's going to be interesting to see how the second half plays out and if the Eagles are going to be able to make that comeback. But I think they could. I think it's just we got to start seeing a little bit more from the defense, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I definitely need it. And I know Fuji's live there on location at Miller's right outside of, right off the boulevard. Are you not there, Fuji?
Yes, sir.
So we're hoping
That I am.
Just hoping that the second half definitely makes a big difference here. Maria hasn't checked in a while, but she says we are making Washington look like a better team than they are. We better play complete football in the second half. And Maria, or Mara, sorry, I keep calling her Maria. Every time I see her, it's Mara. Mara. My apologies. I keep doing it all the time. And it's when she makes her comments. But once again, the Eagles definitely, when it comes to the second half, we're going to have to see a major adjustment here by this entire staff. I mean, from the upper deck all the way down, she's all good. Thanks, Mara. I appreciate it. It's because I always add the I, and the I is not in there. But thanks, Mara, for coming back and tuning in. But yeah, Fuji, second half definitely needs some major adjustments because again, the safeties, your linebackers. I mean, it's just the wide openness that they're allowing for DCU to have. I mean, Sims, they're making him look, as good as CeeDee Lamb at this point. If I'm going to make, wide receiver references, but it's too much of an open field. And I don't know where the disconnect was from last week, but I tell you this much, the second half, if the Eagles don't turn around, look out for Washington to possibly make the playoffs.
No, I mean, they're 6-9 right now. So, I mean, I think there's too many teams in front of them, to really get in there now. So, I mean, they're just playing for pride and want to play for spoiler, pretty much. So, I mean, hey, this team better turn it around. I mean, Sirianni better be turning tables over in that damn locker room at halftime. So, hopefully come out and kick some butt and turn it up a little bit. Bring the pressure. Like I said, contain Heinicke. You get in his face, knock him around. The problem is with Gannon, he don't like the blitz.
No, that's it. Yep, that seems to be a problem. We'll see with the adjustments. Dylan, I guess you can let us know here what's going on as far as the first half when it comes to the Bucs-Jets game.
Tough game so far for the Buccaneers. Defensively speaking, just really have not really impressed me. No sacks throughout the first, half of this game. I remember in the episode 105, obviously the pregame episode here, I kind of mentioned how I said, Blaine Gabbert will probably be put in by halftime. That is not the case right now. We are actually down to the New York Jets, and I would say kind of an upset if you will, kind of game right now, because the Jets, I don't think a lot of people would have thought would be coming out like this, but they've looked good. They've had some interesting plays. Braxton Berrios, who's one of their receivers, they did a kind of a read option type play, and Braxton Berrios ran it in for the touchdown. He was almost kind of the makeshift quarterback in that play. And I'll be honest, Zach Wilson has had a good game, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Bucs can come back. But I think it's going to be similar to the way the Philadelphia Eagles are playing right now, where they just got to get that defense going here in the second half, because not having any sacks on a Jets offensive line who really isn't that very good. I mean, they have a few decent players. They have the big Canadian up front for the Jets who played with the Chiefs last year and obviously is a doctor, if people don't know that as well. He's up front and he's a good player, but I mean, they really got to get to Zach Wilson and pressure him, because that's the only way I think we're going to be able to get this victory. But right now, 17-10, it's not looking good right now for the Buccaneers, even though Brady and the offense are having a good day.
Oh, thanks for the update. And, Fuji, last words?
Go Birds. Up it up. That's all I got to say.
No.
Better have, play smart football the next 30 minutes, because if not, even myself, you guys, and Eagles Nation, this Delaware Valley is going to go topsy-turvy. And, the radio stations are going to have a lot of calls of people blowing up the phone lines there.
Yep, that's absolutely true.
There'll be a lot of unhappy Eagles fans if they don't pull this one out.
That it will be, because I've been screaming at my TV since the game started, so I'm pretty sure my TV's tired of hearing my mouth, but it's all right. As far as for anyone else, thanks to crystalclean.biz for the halftime show. Again, thanks for Dylan for jumping on and give us the update as well when it comes to the Bucs. Fuji, thanks for being out on location. For my producer, Debbie, you guys enjoy the second half. We will see everyone on Thursday. We will have Vince Rizzuto from Philly Sports Trips will be on with us Thursday night at 8 p.m. We will see everyone then. Fuji, be safe and say hello to our family.
You too.